Eminence in Shadow, Chapter 2. So I'm back again with the next chapter of this manga. So let's start with Chapter 2 and see what happens. Even though I already know, but here we go. So it's been 3 years since Shadow Garden has formed between our main character Sid and his new member Alpha. Let's see what happens. He's still acting like a kid as usual, pretending as always. And then his sister got kidnapped. You know, the fun thing is the parents are acting so maybe uncaring is not the word, but they're like acting like kind of like it's not their fault that it happened, that the enemy is so good, there's nothing we can do. It's like making excuses about it and everything. And then we get introduced to a new member that joined Shadow Garden within the last 3 years. Of course, after Alpha is Beta. See, she's like talking about where his sister is missing. She has like a map up with documents explaining everything. And then he's like pretending in this whole story of like the map, and it's like he threw a random knife and be like, that's where the hideout is, that's where my sister is. And and a coincidence happens that he was right. The documents that Beta looked through, all the documents, and it's like, oh my god, you're right. How did you look through it so fast? It's like praising him and everything because the hideout is actually there. Let's see. And then moving on to seeing how his sister is handling Claire, his sister's name. And they're like talking. We see like how strong she actually is. I've seen how strong and how like brave she is in the situation. She like is very confident and is not really that scared at all. And also shows how much she actually loves her brother. See. And then Shadow Garden invaded. We see we don't really see all 7 of we don't really see all 8 members of Shadow Garden. Shadow himself is in here, and we get to see the 7 girls that joined them, but only 4 are like highlighted. So like they enter and introduce themselves, talking about the truth behind the curse and everything, which surprised this enemy, because they're like, how did anyone know about this Diablo's code? It's supposed to be a super secret hidden beneath that nobody ever knows, but it's been leaked by Shadow, who just made it up based on fairy tales that he read as a kid. See, so as they're fighting, because like that's 1 man versus 7, he decides to run away. So as he's running, they're like, should we chase him? Should we go? But like, I think it's Alpha. She's like, there's no need to chase him. He's way up ahead. It's like, Beta's like so surprised that because she's like thinking he read it. She like thought that Shadow thought of the future and like knew this was gonna happen. He like knew that he was gonna skip this way, so he's like prepared in advance to meet him. Like she was praising him and everything, but actually he got lost. Like wanted to move on ahead because he was like getting bored and wanted to fight the final boss and everything. But he just got lost instead. So I was like fighting this guy. I was like showing all his strength and everything. It's like just playing around with him. And we can see like how dominant he is in combat. And also we learn more about this villain, about like he was once a seems like he was once a good guy and everything, but because of how life turned out, because of like how as the darkness in the world made him drop so low that he decided to join the cult and everything. So it's like sees this guy and that he's fighting against the darkness. He's like, he's like a bit mad seeing like how someone can go so far and still resist while like him himself drops so low because of the darkness. So he's like jealous. So it's like saying you won't succeed, you can't do it, but he's like, but Shadow's just like, we can do it basically. So they're fighting. He's like, I think the enemy basically lost it. He's like, decided to like show him that he can't win, but in the end, Shadow just won easily. And like in his last moments too, he was like, maybe Shadow can do it. Maybe this man can, break the darkness that exists in this world. I love like the next scene after is just like him sitting like his table at home just eating. His face is like such a plain face as that he will be so unsuspecting of being Shadow. And then the last thing too, we see that his members decide to split off from him. They were like, we need to split up into the rest of the world so we can operate on a world scale. So they can deal with the cult more better. But he took it as like, they were tired of playing with me now that they decided to move away. And you see him sitting on the rooftop just staring into the sunset. He's like sad and everything, which I found extremely funny. And like, he like doesn't even know how much he's achieved despite all he's done so far. He's done so much already. So he's like cheering himself on the sunset, being like, yeah, I will do what I will accomplish in the future. It's like, it's so funny. It's so great, this manga. See, so that is the end of chapter 2. It's very great. Anyways, that's it. Bye.